We have Uche Umana, certified consultant, trichologist, and founder of Salon Business Africa. Now, in the course of her career that spanned over 16 years, believe it or not, she's worked as a human resources manager, business development officer, even a GM, and these jobs span through finance, oil and gas, hospitality, HR, so much. Now, she joins us to talk to us about how she's been able to help build her business from the ground up. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I have to say thank you for all that you do. I was, privileged to see a lot of the footage that was taken, and it seems like you're helping a lot of people through what you do. But you need to tell everybody what is it to be a trichologist?
Okay, trichology first is the study of hair and scalp.
Okay.
So if you're a trichologist, in layman's language, you're basically a doctor that helps people with hair and scalp problems.
Okay.
Yes, and like most people ask, is it a medical profession? It's more of a paramedical profession.
Okay.
So yes, that's basically who a trichologist is. When you have the hair problems,
yes,
the loss, the burns, the thinning, the trichologist is the person you actually need to see.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yes.
Now, over the course of your career, how did it begin? How did it begin for you?
Well, I started off, I've always been a child entrepreneur. Okay. So I started off with, like most people do, my passion. So when I had the 9-to-5, I just said, okay, do you know what? You've always been good at using your hands. You've been skilled with this business. So why not add it as a side hustle?
Okay.
So I started with the hair extension business. Back then it was a Say You Hair. So I started with the hair business.
Yeah.
And like every entrepreneur, the realities of running a business started to set in. Because rather than this venture getting money funds, it was rather taken from what I had. So I found myself taking money from my 9-to-5 to put back in the business. And it wasn't because I was frivolous with my spending. Yeah. It's just that I didn't understand the business aspect, so I had to close. And in the course of my time, I had closed shop 3 times. Wow. In the same industry, yes.
3 times?
Oh, yes. 3
that
times.
Means so you made a business decision to close up. It wasn't that you were forced out of it. There are some cases where some people are like, maybe there's rent and it's due, and they say, oh yeah, madam, you have to, Tell us that story. It sounds like a good one.
Okay, great. So this is what happens. Like I said, the whole idea of setting up that venture was to get that extra income. Okay. But I had the skill, I had the experience, which is what happens to a lot of people. We have the skill, we have the experience, but we do not understand the business of that skill. And this is not just in beauty industry. This cuts across most SMEs. We know the skill, we have the experience, but we don't understand that we still need to learn the business of our skill. So when I went through that the first time, I shut down, but I went back to the drawing board. What did I miss? Okay. So I felt, okay, you needed more education. And I went for more education. I specialized. I came back and I still failed. So the third time I was like, this, is either this or it's my village people.
I can imagine.
So the third time I went into production, still in the industry, and I failed. So that was the time I had to sit down and ask myself, what are you doing wrong? And that was when I realized that despite the fact that I loved what I was doing, I needed to learn the business and also pursue a career path. Okay. So it was in the career path that I discovered that in the beauty industry, there are different career paths that did not necessarily need me to open a salon, sell extensions, or do what every other person is doing. So I had to key into that, and I found out that my strength, garnering, from my years of experience, was in running a business. I knew how to structure businesses. I knew how to get them to run. Okay. And why not do it in the field that I love the most? So that was how Salon Business Africa started. Okay. I started actually by giving free advice to friends. Someone calls and is like, oh, my business has a problem. And I'm like, okay, fine, what's your capacity? What type of people are you catering to? Now, this is how we're going to structure it. Okay. And someone else calls and says, oh, I tried to replicate what you told this person. And I'll be like, no, your business is different. Okay. You're catering to a different clientele. This is how you go about it. So basically, that was how a Salon Business Africa was born. And in all of this, which is one of the beautiful things for me, because I gathered both the industry education and business education, we're able to combine that to help people grow.
Amazing.
Because truly, I've been through that journey.
Amazing, amazing. I appreciate the fact that you were able to express yourself, especially with regards to you having failed twice over before twice before you. Fourth time was the charm.
Yes.
You know, and obviously you were building a family at the same time.
Whew. Wow. Yes. Yes.
So how did that go?
Honestly, honestly, this is what I tell most young women. If you can discover purpose, please pursue it. Be on a path before you settle down. It's very important.
Okay.
Pursue it, be on a path before you settle down. Because when the reality of growing a family and trying to run a business came up, I had to make a choice. Because whether you like it or yes, your business is a child, and your child is also your child. Like, you share almost the same emotion. And they demand, at that infant age, they demand same attention. So I had to let one go. Which was about the second time I shut down, because the realities of I can't do this. My kids at that time, I had a toddler and I had a baby.
Oh, wow.
So there was no way I could, but I tried also to run it by proxy, which also is what why I really work with businesses where we have young mothers. Because if I actually had a structure in place, my business wouldn't have shut down. My business, if I had a structure in place, that business would have continued, because I would probably have to automate and delegate.
Okay.
So that was the part or the reality check of not having a structure, then going into motherhood and trying to run my family.
Honestly, I appreciate the honesty here, and I know there's a mom or two out there watching right now, probably going through the same thing.
Absolutely.
There were probably a few tears here and there. You know, there are probably a few members of staff also that gave you some things to scream about.
Oh, true.
Let's touch a bit on getting staff to help you with your business.
Okay, so first experience with staff. So when I had the business and I had a 9-to-5, I just realized that my stock, I just had stock, and I wasn't really selling. Okay. But people would always call and say, oh, we bought something from your shop.
Oh, wow.
So I realized that my staff had a business in my business. And I was literally paying the rent and running operations for them while they made money.
Wow. So they were selling their own products in your store?
Yeah, they would literally discourage them to buy, oh, no, madam, we've told madam these things are expensive. So we have a cheaper option. Oh, yes.
Oh, goodness me.
We have a cheaper option.
Okay.
So we had that, and that was part of, that's where you wake up one morning and you're like, do you know what? Whatever is going to happen, like, I'm shutting this place down. So the frustration puts you through that. Now, one of the reality checks I got about being an entrepreneur was understanding the economic system. Yeah. Because between the transition, I was trying to make a purchase. Then I had gone into production of human hair wigs here in Nigeria. I had gotten the machines. I had started production. So whilst trying to get my products in, then I would never forget, dollar was at 180 or
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
180.
We went that way. Yeah, dollar was about 180 or 200. I can't really remember. And I remember I had made part payment, and the banker was like, okay, fine, we'll complete on Monday. I got to the bank on Monday, and it had gone up by, I think, 50 naira or so. And I was like, do you know what? I'll just wait. The way
let it go down.
And in less than, this was about 8 years ago. Wow. In less than 1 week, dollar literally shot up from 180 something to 520 naira.
I want us to stop right there and let people digest and maybe calculate in their minds how much money that actually is.